Banque Heritage has origins in soft commodity trading. Before the pandemic, it merged with Basel-based Banque Salford. With me to speak about the bank's services for wealthy clients throughout Switzerland and internationally is Michael Welti, who heads private banking. Hello, Michael.
Good morning, Jade.
So last year, financial markets came under a lot of pressure. What did this mean for clients at Banque Heritage?
The year was hard for everyone being invested in the financial markets. The way we took it is we were in close communication with the client throughout the year. So when we saw the turbulences coming in early spring, we proactively communicated that with clients. So we keep them always close so they are aware what happens on the market. What we definitely want to avoid is that any client is getting caught by surprise by year end and not having heard from the bank in the bad times as well.
So close communication throughout the year. What did you tell them?
Well, the clients are quite well informed, so that is the good thing. I think what is important for clients is they are to understand why you do diversification in the portfolio. So that comes obviously in markets like this comes at the strengths. Where clients sometimes have challenging questions where why don't you do more of this or more of that, while the markets go up. In a down market like this, obviously it helps to have a broad diversification, and they understand.
And looking to the future, what do you see on the horizon?
In regards to the market, I would say whenever we are in the middle of the crisis, as we are now, and it's probably the fifth or sixth crisis I've seen, you never think there is an end again. You always have a very doomy and gloomy outlook how to get out of it. Now, the good thing is most of the crises end, and I'm sure this one will too in one or the other way. We see already the first signs of relief, and the attitude is a bit more positive towards investing again, so that's helpful for us.
Can you tell me something about Banque Heritage's history in soft commodity trading and tell us how this impacts your view on financial markets?
Yes. So Banque Heritage basically was founded by two entrepreneur families of soft commodity, both in headquartered or predominantly based in Switzerland. However, we split or separate the business completely from the trading side. And you can imagine soft commodities like cotton, hops or cocoa beans don't grow in Switzerland necessarily. So we have international relations. We therefore have an international reach with all the countries. And that helps us as a Swiss-based bank with 4 branches in Switzerland, from Basel to Sion to Geneva and Zurich. This is an extreme advantage.
Maybe you can tell me about your ambitions within Switzerland and also touch on the markets you're already in and where you wish to gain more clients.
Yeah. So our biggest segment probably is the so-called DACH region, which is the German-speaking region, where we have extremely strong footprint in Basel and Zurich. We have a very local business in Sion, where we are very proud of having that. And Geneva and Zurich tend to be a bit more international. Now, probably the biggest client segment, or the right way to call it, is European clients plus or international clients, because most of the clients are very, very international, even they're European based, so I call them global citizens. But nevertheless, I mean, realistically, the growth we're having is from sectors like Middle East, Latin America, again, with usually a footprint in Europe, because these people travel a lot. But this is a market we understand extremely well.
Maybe you can tell me about the current trends in private banking.
What we see in Switzerland, I believe, is when you look at the segments of the banks, when you have the universal banks, the bigger banks versus the more private banks, leaving aside all the others like the retail banks and foreign banks. The big banks will standardize their services more, which is probably the right thing to do. While the more private banks like us, we work around the client. So we try to tailor things more and customize it more to his needs. That's why we can usually differentiate. For us as a bank, the approach to the market is being the first bank to talk to. We want to be engaging with all the partners. That's why we increased also our reach with the external asset managers. We believe it's a very important sector for Switzerland, and we partnering with them, that works extremely well. For the private client side, usually we have a bit of a DNA of a family office, even though we are a full-fledged bank. So we have multiple custody solutions, and that is where I see the market going in Switzerland, the clients seeking for that. So if they are not happy with the pure standards they're getting by some of the banks and want more customization, that's the niche where we are, and it's a good niche to be.
Do you see yourself maybe acquiring another player in this niche?
We are definitely a consolidator, so we are ready to do that. We have a vast experience in that. We have done that multiple times. What is extremely important in that aspect is that you have the right fit, that you have the right DNA. I give you an example with the current situation we have in our bank. We have the 4 locations in Switzerland and 1 in Latin America. The teamwork is extremely well amongst all these locations. That is something we never want to give up. So if we make an acquisition and if we find a target which fits, it needs to fit to that culture, which is extremely friendly. And we don't have a Röstigraben, which is so famous in Switzerland. But yes, we are definitely on the look, but we haven't found the right fit yet. In my view, Swiss people are way too skeptical about Switzerland. You see that when you travel. When you go, the people are extremely positive in favor of Switzerland. Now, just focusing on the private banking market, I don't see a better country than Switzerland. With more tradition and the safety and stability. Now, these values might sound boring, but it is what you want when you want to place your money somewhere. Now, Switzerland traditionally always had to look outward. So we speak multiple languages. We have an extreme diverse country in that sense, which many other financial places don't have. So we are always towards the outward looking, and this is our big strength. 2022 was tough for that because the brand of Switzerland was slightly damaged. But it doesn't come up in conversations anymore. So probably because there are no alternatives to Switzerland in the end, on the long run.
And how do you mean Switzerland was slightly damaged?
Is Switzerland still neutral? That is a question you often get. That was a question you got in the early spring. This question is slowly going away. As I said, because of lack of alternatives. The way Switzerland approaches is, I mean, you've seen our approach to blockchain and new technologies. We're the innovation hub for so many industries. I believe the way Switzerland or the Swiss financial industry has to position is the service offering needs to be a bit more modular. So a client can have a service from this bank, a service from that fintech, and someone who coordinates that, and a banker who helps them with making the right choices. So therefore, Switzerland is, let's say, the origin for many transactions, but they can have a global reach.
Fantastic. Michael, it was a pleasure speaking to you today.
Pleasure as mine. Thank you very much.
And thank you to you for watching FinNews.